The following is a special presentation of Tony Kurre Radio.
Welcome back to a few more minutes here, Bite by Bite with Michael Coleman. He's the CEO of the Heart of Alabama Food Bank. I'm Tony Kurre with TKR, Tony Kurre Radio. You can hear the show at least 5 days a week, wherever you get your favorite podcast, and of course right here on our YouTube channel. Hear it, and we'd love to get your thoughts too. info@tonykurreradio.net for anything we do with the Heart of Alabama Food Bank, mission-minded or Bite by Bite. Info@tonykurreradio.net, info@tonykurreradio.net. I love you have gotten down to the brass tacks about what you want to talk about on Bite by Bite, and that is when you're talking about non-for-profits, you're talking about something that's not making money and that has volunteer written all over it. Talk about how important your volunteers are, not only just the Heart of Alabama Food Bank, but any non-for-profit.
Yeah, well, it's true. Almost all nonprofits, need volunteers, but in food banking, it's even more critical. And part of that reason is because the example that I kind of use, imagine if you were a furniture store and you go in and say, yes, here's the couch. I want to order this couch. And they look in their catalog and they say, yeah, here's the exact couch. They order it from the manufacturer. The manufacturer comes in, and then they just sell the couch. It's that easy. In food banking, it's drastically different. So we get food donations in from Walmart, public major grocery chains, and sometimes we get those on pallets that are not all the same kind. So they will, if they're going to make a donation, they may have 10 different items on pallets. And when that comes in either dry or frozen or goes in the refrigerated goods, all that has to be separated because we have to make that available to our customers. So you can't put each item that comes in, like I can't put, we got 25 packs of hot dogs. Mm-hmm. So what we end up doing with all our frozen, sometimes we'll get steaks, we'll get bacon, we'll get hot dogs. So one of the things the volunteers do is they come in and we have to take all this mixed stuff and then create a product that then can go out to our agencies who then distribute it out to their communities. So one of the things they do is come in and we bring all the freezer stuff and they take our banana boxes, and we use banana boxes. When you go in our warehouse, you think everything's in a banana box. You're like, man, what are y'all do with all these bananas? But we just use them because they're sturdy. But so what you do is you take all the assorted meat and you put it into a box, and then we can sell that box or for 18 cents a pound is how that works out. Or it's not really selling, but a shared handling fee. But to be able to do all of that for our frozen and then come over here and take all our donated goods and create a box of canned goods and a box, there's so much intensive labor because when a whole bunch gets donated to us from Walmart, we don't have to worry about that. But somebody goes out and does a fun and food drive, and so they bring in 5,000 cans, and they're all of different types. Mm-hmm. But when it's donated like that, for food safety reasons, every single can has to be viewed. We're looking for any sort of dents, cracks, anything like that, because safety is number one priority, and so that has the potential for botulism. So we have to throw that away. We have to check the expiration date. And of course, you can go past, I shouldn't say expiration date, your best if purchased by date, because the USDA allows for a certain amount of time after that. So we have to make sure it's within that range. And so you see how tedious that is, going can by can by can. Then when you get it, you have to sort it into these boxes. And so it ends up getting double sorted. We put all the canned vegetables in a big tote. Yep. You go through that first sorting, and then you're like, okay, let's pack boxes. So you can see how much detail it is. And to pay people to do that is, we've got our warehouse people packing the next day orders, serving current clients, doing all those kind of things. If we would be so much far behind, it would literally cause us to probably distribute 4 to 5 million less pounds if we did not have volunteers coming in and helping with that process. We do 1,700 boxes a month of CSFP, which is a USDA program, and it's basically a senior supplement program. And the USDA is 4 truckloads of food, and it goes out to our affiliated food banks, but also 1,700 people who get serviced in our area. And volunteers come in every single month and pack those 1,700 boxes, not all at one time. You know, they might come in and go, okay, we're going to be here for 2 hours. We're going to bring a group in, and they'll pack 400 boxes.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is that's such a huge amount of work. To have them in there is just, it's just crazy. Now, here's the great thing about volunteers is a great opportunity then, and this is just for people, nonprofits who host volunteers. It's a great opportunity to get them really connected in your mission. And so while they're there, give them some swag, give them, you know, a t-shirt. We give all our volunteers a t-shirt, and now they're walking billboards for the Heart of Alabama Food Bank. We also give them just a brochure that helps them see the impact that they're making. We try to create a lot of fun. We have music blaring in the warehouse, so it's, you know, they're talking, they're cutting up. It's fun. It's a team building exercise. So a lot of times, a lot of businesses come and they're like, "Hey, we want to send people over from this bank and that or this whatever." And boy, it's just a great time. But what we're trying to create are little ambassadors that when they leave there, they're going to go out and say, not only did I go volunteer, but I did something meaningful that helped somebody go to bed not hungry tonight, and I had a great time doing it. So it's so easy for organizations to get focused on, hey, we got these volunteers, we got to get this work done. No, it's not about the work. It's about bringing in these volunteers, helping them do something that's impactful. And regardless of what our volunteers do, we always tell them at the end of that time, here's the impact you made. If you packed 400 boxes, these are X amount of, each box contains X amount of meals. You may have just packed 2,000 meals. So not just pounds, not just number of boxes, but how many meals this is actually going to be providing over time. And I'm telling you, when people feel like, hey, I came over here, I spent 2 hours, but I didn't spend an hour and a half waiting for them to figure out what I was going to do. When I came in, they put me right to work. I left there. I worked hard for 2 hours, but man, I made a difference. So I want the general public to know food banking is critical that you get involved. They always need volunteers. But even if if that's not your thing, food banking, go get involved and volunteer. Volunteerism helps you see all the good that's being done in the communities. But then when you're a part of it, when you start serving, when you start giving of yourself, it just, if nothing else during that time, it takes your mind off your own troubles.
Yep.
It causes you to think outward and not inwardly. And that affects your mental health. You're actually contributing to society rather than just making your world about you. There's just so many positives about volunteerism and the impact you can do, but especially in food banking. So just want to encourage our audience to get out there, get connected to something good, something that's happening. And it goes back to what we talked about on Mission Minded. There's lots of people that say, I've been meaning to do this for a long time about procrastination. Don't procrastinate. Start out 2024, get involved, and make a difference in the way that only you can.
This has been a special presentation of Tony Kurre Radio.